What do Chicago's Century of Progress World's Fair, the Pacific Theater of World War II, early children's television programming, the defunct Freedomland USA theme park, and Marx television commercials for toys have in common? Well, that would be America's most favorite ringmaster of the 50s and 60s, Claude Kirchner. Most people who have heard of Claude Kirchner know him from the popular television show Circus, which ran on Saturday afternoons from 1949 until 1956. But there's so much more to this individual than just a circus TV show. I was fortunate enough recently to be able to spend some time with Lynn Lavalette, Claude's daughter, who shared with us stories and memories, artifacts, and rare family photos to really give us a good feeling about what Claude Kirchner was really all about. Klaus von Hindenburg Kirchner was born on February 11, 1916, in Rostock in the German Empire. His family emigrated to the United States in 1925, settling in the Chicago suburb of Riverside, Illinois. At the age of 17, in 1933, Claude found employment as a barker at the Century of Progress Chicago World's Fair, a 2-year event. He worked there both years. In 1933, he was a barker for the Streets of Paris exhibit with the famed femme dancer Sally Rand, and in 1934, he was with the Black Forest exhibit. He attended the University of Chicago, and then later Southern Methodist University in Dallas, Texas, and at the time was working toward a degree in medicine. In 1936, while at Southern Methodist University, he took another job as a barker at the Texas Centennial Exposition. Around this point in time, Claude set upon a career change. He became an announcer at Texas's oldest radio station, WRRAM. After college, he returned to Illinois and worked at WROK in Rockford, at WTMJ in Milwaukee, and finally at WGN in Chicago, Illinois. When World War II broke out, Claude enlisted in the Coast Guard. In 1942, WGN had a Coast Guard radio show called On Guard, of which Claude was a member. He rose in the ranks from seaman second class all the way to lieutenant by the end of the war. In 1944, he graduated from the Coast Guard Academy and was assigned to LST-166. LST-166 participated in several invasions in the Pacific in the 15 months of its operation. The 4 invasions we know he was involved in: Treasury Island, Bougainville, Green Island, and Saipan. He ended his tour in the Guard in 1946. At that point, he became a DJ in Chicago at radio station WIND-AM. Shortly thereafter, he transferred to NBC and became an announcer and a participant in the daytime talk show, The Bob and Kay Show. He met his future wife, Ruth Ross, when she was a secretary at a law firm that he visited, and they were married in 1947. He served as a radio and TV announcer on a game show called Ladies Be Seated on the ABC network. And with his wife, he hosted an ABC daytime show called Housewife's Holiday. In 1949, Claude gained national fame when he was selected to be the ringmaster on Super Circus. It was a Sunday afternoon ABC show. It originated from WBKB-TV in Chicago. His co-host was a baton-twirling drum majorette and also the band leader, Mary Hartline. The show ran from 1949 to 1956 and was very successful. It was a live show, and Ruth, then Claude's wife, used to type up his note cards on the various acts so that he could remember when announcing them. For 1956, the producers of the show made a change and moved it from Chicago to New York. The producers fired the entire cast, except for Mary Hartline, who they wished to keep. She, however, refused to move to New York without the rest of the original cast, and the show in New York only continued on for about one season. Kirchner still moved to New York anyway, and he was in discussions with one of the networks for a proposed TV show with his wife, which would be somewhat like the I Love Lucy show, but it never materialized. He joined a new circus-themed show in New York on WOR-TV9 called Terrytoon Circus, beginning in October of 1956. It ran Mondays through Fridays in the 7 p.m. time slot and was the first prime-time children's show on network TV. His co-host, Clowny, was actually a clown puppet. From May to September of 1957, he also hosted a WOR daytime afternoon kids show called Scrub Club. In 1955, Claude and the Kirchner family left Illinois and moved to the New York suburbs. He continued his TV career there, but also started a burgeoning business in voiceover work and commercials. And one of his largest clients was someone new to television advertising, Toy King Louis Marx.
Golden Guns by Marx. Now the greatest guns in history are Golden Guns by Marx. But get set for the surprise of your life, kids, because Golden Guns are only this big. Miss 17 by Marx, the tall fashion doll with a fabulous wardrobe. Dress her in smart daytime clothes, stunning outfits for dates, beautiful evening gowns, even this magnificent wedding gown. Each dress you buy comes complete with its own accessories, so why buy a tiny teenage doll? Get tall Miss 17 in either of two big sizes. Price includes this complete beauty queen outfit. Miss 17 by Marx. Here come the Gung-Ho Commandos, best equipped boys in the field. All the equipment you need for fun and excitement in the Gung-Ho Commando outfit by Marx. Just look at all the things you get. There's a battle map and direction-finding compass, a cat-shooting automatic with gun belt and holster, a helmet, a canteen, complete mess kit and poncho. You get a cat-firing Gung-Ho hand grenade. And look here, this flashing battery-powered machine gun with moving ammo belt shoots rapid-fire bullets. There's a real-looking walkie-talkie, too, and a field pack. You get non-com stripes, medals and battle ribbons, even dog tags. It's all for fun and excitement. Gung-Ho! Get the outfit with all the equipment you need. The Gung-Ho Commando outfit. They're little wacky walking toys by Marx. No motors, no strings, nothing to wind up. Just start them downhill and watch them walk forward or backward. There are loads of wacky walking toys, including your favorite comic strip characters. Collect them, trade them, but start today, all in full color at a tiny price. Wacky Walking Toys by Marx. That's right, you can go bear hunting too with the exciting Bear Hunt game. Boppa Bear by Marx. You get this over-under big game gun, 6 rubber-tipped darts, and this big battery-powered grizzly bear. Batteries extra, of course. When you bop the bear in the right place, he growls and goes the other way. You can play Boppa Bear indoors or out.
Let me take a shot at him. Careful, he's pretty ferocious. Gee, this is terrific.
You bet it is. Ready, aim, Boppa Bear. The exciting bear hunt game. Get bargain-priced Boppa Bear by Marx. Now watch this. From little kid to grown-up car owner. With the electric Power Bird by Marx. Real trunk compartment. And look what's under the hood. Here's a bucket seat and see-through windshield, too. Hey, shift to forward. Now road test it, and away you go. No pedaling, cause it's electric. Electric Power Bird by Marx.
In September of 1959, he started hosting a Saturday and Sunday movie show called Super Adventure Theater, also on WOR. From September 22nd of 1962 until March 6th of 1963, Claude Kirchner was also the ringmaster on another program, ran on Saturdays from 11:30 to noon, and was referred to as Marx Magic Midway. Marx was the only sponsor, and they would wheel out a circus wagon of Marx toys that were given to the audience of children after they had won various games that they participated in. His co-host was named Bonnie Lee, and she was a high school-aged baton twirling champion. Marx must not have been terribly pleased with the results because after about the first 15 episodes, they dropped the program and it became Magic Midway. Most people have never heard of Marx's Magic Midway. The television show only lasted about a half a year, and at that period of time, as Lynn Lavalette told us, most of those types of shows were filmed on kinescope, and the tapes were reused the following week for the next show. So there are no copies of Marx Magic Midway, of Terry Toon's Adventures, of Super Adventure Theater. They just don't exist. But fortunately for us, Lynn, when she was 12, as a 6th grader, and her class were in the audience of one of the early episodes of Marx's Magic Midway. In September of 1963, Terry Toon Circus, which by then was referred to as Mary Toon Circus due to a licensing problem, also came to an end. Super Adventure Theater lasted a little longer until 1967. In August of 1968, WOR decided to reboot the Scrub Club, again with Kirchner at the helm, but it only lasted about 3.5 months. And on February 3rd, 1969, Claude received his final TV hosting job. He was the ringmaster on WOR's Bozo, the World's Most Famous Clown, until January 30th, 1970. Claude had offices at WOR Channel 9 at 1440 Broadway in New York and did a great deal of commercial and voiceover work. He had that office until at least the late 1970s. As Lynn related to us, in the late 1960s, the individual at Marx Toys who was responsible for the television advertising passed away. His younger replacement, however, made some drastic changes. He fired Claude Kirchner and replaced him with basically a voice double who presented the commercials in the same way, the same intonation, and the same sound. Most people never knew the change even took place, but Claude and the Kirchner family did. This drastic drop in their income was a contributing factor to Claude and Ruth eventually divorcing in 1967. Now, in the early 1960s, Claude also served as a ringmaster for a live performance at Freedomland, the theme park in New York. He was the host and ringmaster of the Freedomland Circus for 2 summers. And his last entertainment-related gig was hosting the Claude Kirchner Show, a big band radio program on WXFM 106 in Chicago, Illinois. Always creative, Claude even designed a line of children's breakfast cereals named Super Sugar, which unfortunately never went into production. Later in life, Kirchner frequently made public appearances at community and charity events. Claude Kirchner passed away on March 8, 1993, but his legacy lives on. His groundbreaking work in children's television, first nationally syndicated TV show for children that wasn't cartoon-based, the first prime-time TV show for children, and his many shows, several of which were massive hits that were on the air for many, many years, built a solid foundation upon which later people in children's television built. The work of people like Fred Rogers and Jim Henson was built on the foundation laid by Claude Kirchner. Well, that's it for today's episode of Kruger Street Stories. We hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, press our circular logo on this page to subscribe, and click on the thumbnail to watch this next episode we know you'll also enjoy.